Right, so it looks like my drum motor's blown. Drum weren't turning, filter got blocked up, which led to the pump for the shower getting starved, which is now throwing a 0-1 error. And even though I've got the bypass bungs taken out, it's too late for that pump by the looks of it. It had gone through a stop-start cycle, and it's obviously blown the controller because it just won't start now, even though it's got plenty of water. And I've got to look at getting a new motor for this. You can tell it's the motor stinks, it's burnt out. It's run for about 2.5-3 years, not really that long. It's not actually been used that heavy duty. It's only run sort of like once every 40 minutes or something like that, 30 minutes. It looks like I need a new motor for that. There's a bit of a git to get out as well. I have to take the cog off the drive to whittle the motor out. I've got it running on bypass now, so I have to go down Quenny or ring them tomorrow, see how long it's going to take to get a new motor for it. I don't know whether it's going to come as a motor on its own or whether it includes the gearbox as well. Find that out tomorrow. I can't see how you're going to get that motor out without taking the gearbox apart itself, because there's no screws holding the motor on that are visible from this side. They'll be internal. Well, there's a new motor. Luckily they had one in stock, and luckily it was £250. A bit of a shock to the system. It's just a small thing, but there you go, that's what the price is. Hardly looks any different, but that one is definitely blown, stinks, burnt out. That name plate there. Made in Korea. Looks like the same one. Yeah. Oh, this one was made in China. So I've gone from Korea to China. Pretty much look identical though. Get that one fitted and get my drum back up and running. Stop all the crap going into my bio. Alright then. So I've got the new pump in. I had a bit of a job getting this out because these screws sit behind this sprocket here. So if you want to change this motor without having to take the chute and the drum and the spray bar out, you need to put these screws in place, slide the cog over the shaft before you start tightening them up. The easiest way, because I did have a real struggle with it, I found of doing this is inside here in the back. There's also a spacer plate that's fitted between the drive and that unit. So you need to put this screw in first, put the corner of the spacer plate over that, then put the motor behind and get this one screw started in the motor so that you've got a fixed point. Then with the screw only just in 2 or 3 threads, you've got a bit of wiggle room on it. You can get the shaft through the hole with the 3 screws lined up on the plate. Bring the plate up so that the screws go through it in the right position, and then you can pull the unit back a little bit because you've got some play on this screw still, about 1/2 inch. You can put the cog in position, pull the shaft into the cog, and then down through here what you have, I'll just turn this now, is there is an Allen key grub screw in there to tighten down onto a flat spot on the shaft. There's also another grub screw at 90 degrees to that, just to stop it from sliding around. So you need to tighten the flat spot screw up first, then tighten up the side screw, and then come back to the flat spot to fully tighten it down, just to make sure it's nice and square in that, and then make sure that it's turning freely. And then once you've got those on, you can then just about get the Allen key right somewhere through the gears of the cogs to tighten these screws up, and then you're ready to go. What I've had to do with mine, the new motor came with a connector on it that's not suitable for the wires on mine. Mine were just soldered and had some shrink tubing on it. So what I've done inside here, I've got a waterproof box and 3 Wargo connectors just to connect those wires up, and then use cable ties as restraints around the flex going in there so they don't pull. But that will give me those connections in there then being waterproof. Not that it should get wet in there, but just as a bit of a double brace, if you like, to make sure no water gets in on those connections. And I'll plug just the motor drive in for now. Check this out, and that's the motor working again, just to make sure there's nothing jammed in these cogs, which there isn't. It's just a bit of dirt in there. So now I'll get the cover plate, back over the gear drive, put the lid on it, and then see if I can get it up and running and cleaning the pond again. And then maybe have a look at what I'm going to do with that shower pump and shower beans. It's coming out in a few weeks anyway. I don't know if I'll be able to get it up and running again because it's still showing an error message on it. I'll try taking it out and cleaning it maybe. If I'll get it up and running for a few weeks, that'll do. But I think it's the pump controller. When I've looked online for the ER01 on that, what they've said is it's gone into a stop-start cycle and it's basically just blown the controller. I don't know if I can get one of them spare or not. I don't know whether it's worth a punt. I'll get that cover back on and then get the drum back up and running. Right then, that's it all back together again. Lid back on, cover plate back over there, and it's all working now. Just disconnected the cleaning pump while I take a video with the lid off, so I want that spraying water everywhere. The screen looks a little bit dirty. I think I'll give that a bit of a clean with some citric acid, which is all you need for screen cleaner. A bit of my own concoction, drum screen cleaner. All it is some of the citric acid down there dissolved in water, and you just spray it on the screen. And at the end of the day, it's a food safe ingredient, so as long as you don't go bananas with it, altering the pH of the pond, it will be fine. Leave that to soak for a couple of minutes. Just disconnect the drum motor so it can sit, and then I'll just give that a few turns, doing a quarter of a piece at a time until I've had the drum screen cleaner sitting on it. Let that soak for 5 minutes, and then turn it a quarter of a turn, do the next section, and so on and so forth until the whole drums have been cleaned. And then see where we are with the rest of it. Don't think I'm going to get that pump up and running, but I'll have to look at draining down, shutting the valve off down there, which is handy to have for any pump. Shut off the valve in front of it, disconnect it. Probably the union is going to be the easiest way. Drag the pump out, have a look at it and see if the impeller's stuck or whether the controller's gone.